just curious how you think the line has been doing in pass pro lately, and what it was maybe that you've got kind of cleaned up since the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've done a good job in the past. Pro, I think we've had great game plans going in, great protection plans each week. Both our coaches, Streef and Doug, have been doing a great job in getting us ready. And then obviously we've done a pretty good job executing it and communicating up front and making sure we're locked in. Every time we go out there to pick everything up that's thrown at us.
I'm just curious what kind of role Andy's played in that. Just in make sure y'all are all on the same page and just even avoiding some of the rush in the pocket there.
Mm-hmm. I think he's done a phenomenal job. He's been in this league a long time and he knows what he's doing. He's a good leader, and sometimes if we don't see a certain thing, he does, and he can get us out of something or into something. And I think he's done a really good job at that.
Ryan, with the offensive line, it's always about chemistry. How do you feel like that chemistry has developed as you guys have gone along? As you mentioned, you guys had a couple of hiccups early, but how do you feel like that chemistry has developed to this point?
I mean, I think it's getting stronger and stronger each week. As we move forward and we keep going over these game plans, there's a lot of stuff that we've seen before, and it's just clicking with everyone. It's clicking with the entire line, all making sense to us. And when we can be fully confident in our plan and go out there and execute the way we've been executing, it's tough for a defense to try to dial something up and get us. But I think the chemistry is continuing to grow. I think it's been really good so far this year.
Yeah, Ryan, I feel like we ask this, basically every week, but does it seem like Caesar is really kind of coming into his own this season? Obviously it's third year, first full off season, but is that what's going on?
I think Caesar's done a really good job in preparing this year. Personally, I see a lot more confidence out of him and his game, and I think his preparation has been even better this year too. So. I see a confident player that's going out there on Sundays and playing good football.
Ryan, how important is that for an offensive lineman in particular? When you're confident, does that kind of allow you to maybe try new things technique-wise? And I don't know. I guess confidence just seems really important for that position in particular.
Absolutely. Confidence is huge as an offensive lineman. If you're out there and you're playing timid or you're not sure what you're doing, 99% of the time you're going to get beat. So having the confidence is step one, and then going and executing is everything else. So I know in Caesar's game he's been confident. He's been able to switch things up, work on new techniques, and be confident going into the game that those are going to work. He's doing them in practice and seeing the success he's having there, and then translating it to the game.
There were no turnovers in this last game. Does it feel like the fundamentals finally clicked where it's like we're not going to keep shooting ourselves in the foot?
Yeah, obviously it feels good to not have any turnovers. Obviously the guys did a good job in protecting the ball, and that's been an emphasis each week. And to finally be able to get that done, I think we see just how important that is and just how well the game can go for us when there are no turnovers. So obviously that's a huge part of every game, and it was good not to have any yesterday.
Thank you.
Ryan, obviously we talked to Alvin the other week, and he mentioned obviously being part of that 2017 draft class. You guys weren't really accustomed to losing and such, but just kind of going through this stretch and then having him address the locker room the way he did, just kind of what that meant to you and the impact it's kind of felt on the pulse of the locker room.
Yeah, I think Alvin, he's a great leader. And I wouldn't say he's been a huge vocal leader in the past, but I think this year he's stepped up, and he's one of those guys that's like when he talks, everyone listens. And I think he's been doing a really good job, and what he says means a lot to this team and this group. So I think it's been a really, really good for him to come out and been saying what he's been saying. It's been good for us.
Ryan, a number of guys last week said y'all had just like a really good week of preparation. I mean, could you sense like a difference going into that game, and like how important was that for you guys to put together the kind of performance you did?
I mean, there's always a sense of urgency each week going into the game. And I think we prepared like how we normally prepare. Honestly, I think we prepare well each week, and yeah, I could say last week was a great week of preparation, but with the whole confidence thing, I think our entire team played with a bunch of confidence, and I think we kind of saw what and who we can be, who we should be each week, and hopefully we can continue with that trend and one game at a time, just keep getting these wins.
Ryan, I know you said that chemistry has improved and the communication as well, but is there anything specific that you guys have done or changed or corrected or worked on that leads to 0 sacks in 2 straight games?
Honestly, I don't think there's one thing in particular. Like I said, our coaches are doing a phenomenal job at getting us a great protection plan. And then obviously taking pride up front in keeping our quarterback clean. But one thing in particular, no, I don't think so. I think each guy is working on his craft and working on his game, and I think it's obviously been paying off for us.